Good morning, students. This is Maithili, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics. I'm going to take discrete mathematics for you in this semester. Students, I send you syllabus in slide 1 and 2. Students, please write the syllabus in your classwork note. Right. First, I'm going to take Unit 1. In Unit 1, the chapters are set, some basic properties of integers, mathematical induction, divisibility of integers, representation of positive integers. So these are the chapters we are going to see in Unit 1. Right. Now go to the next slide, Unit 1. First, see the definition for set. Define set. A set is a collection of well-defined objects. A set is a collection of well-defined objects. By well-defined object, we mean that given any object, it is possible to determine whether the object is a member of the set or not. The object of the set are called elements. Sets are denoted by capital letters, capital A, B, etc. And the elements are denoted by the small letters, small a, b, etc. Mostly, we used to denote the set by the capital letters, capital A, B, C, etc. and the small letters by small elements. We have used to denote small letters A, B, C, etc. used to denote these letters by elements. So sets are denoted by capital letters and the elements are denoted by the small letters. If A is an element of the set yes, then we write A belongs to yes. Suppose if A is an element of the set yes means we have to write it as A belongs to yes. The symbol belongs means that is A is the element of the set yes. We can read it as belong. The symbol means belongs. Or A is a member of the set yes. Suppose if A is not a element of the set yes, then we write A does not belongs to yes or A is not an element of yes. See the first example, S is equal to set of all A, E, I, O, U. We know that A, E, I, O, U are vowels. So the first example, S is equal to set of all vowels in English alphabet. So S is equal to set of all A, E, I, O, U. That is set of all vowels in English alphabet. And second example, S is equal to set of all, that is yes, that is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That is the set of all days in a week. So these are the examples for the set. So the first definition is define set, and what are the examples are giving? Two examples, that is set of all vowels in English, and second example, all the days in a week. So these are the definition for set. The next slide is symbols. What are the symbols we are used in this unit? Capital N. So capital N denotes a set of all natural numbers. We know that capital N denotes set of all natural numbers. And Z denotes set of all integers. Z denotes set of all integers. Q denotes set of all rational numbers. R denotes set of all real numbers. C denotes all complex numbers. These are the symbols we are used in the first unit. N, Z, Q, R, C. N is a set of all natural number. Z is set of all integers. Q is a set of all rational numbers. R is a set of all real numbers. And C is a set of all complex numbers. Next definition, finite set. A set is said to be a finite. A set is said to be a finite if it contains a finite number of distinct elements. A set is said to be a finite if it contains a finite number of distinct elements. Next definition is subset. Subset. A set capital A is said to be contained in the set B. A set capital A is said to be contained in the another set capital B if every element of A is an element of B. If Every element of A is an element of B, and it is denoted by the symbol A contains B, or A is a subset of B. That is, a set A is said to be contained in a set B if every element of A is an element of B, and it is denoted by the symbol A is contained in B, or A is a subset of B. For example, let us take the first set A. Capital A is equal to set of all 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. 99. So all these numbers are set of odd positive integers. Let A be the set of all positive integers. And capital B is equal to set of all 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. 100. That is nothing but capital B is a set of positive integers. A is a set of odd positive integers, and B is a set of positive integers. So we know that A contained in B, that is A is a subset of B. B is a set of positive integer, but A is a set of odd integers. So odd integers 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. 99 are all contained in the set B. So A contains in B, or A is a subset of B. So this is the example for the subset. Next definition is equal set. Two sets, capital A and B, are said to be equal. Let us take the two sets A and B are said to be equal if A is a subset of B, or and B is a subset of A. That is, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, or B is equal to 2, 3, 1. So both the sets are equal, therefore it is called an equal sets. Next slide. If and every element of set A or the element of set B, and there exists at least one element of B that does not belongs to A, then the set A is said to be a proper subset of B. This is the definition for the proper subset. Define proper subset. If and every element of the set A or the element of A and B, or there exists at least one element of B, then does not belongs to A, then the set A is said to be a proper subset of A, and it is denoted by A contains B. See the subset. Subset means A contains or equal to B. For the proper subset means it is a proper subset. That is, so A contains, there is no equal symbol. So proper subset is nothing but A contains B. See, example, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, set of all 1, 2, 3, and B is equal to set of all 2, 3, 1, 4. See, A is contained in B. So A is a proper subset of B, because A is a proper subset of B, but B is not a subset of A, because B is equal, B contains 4. Yes, B contains 4. The element 4 does not belongs to A. So this is the example for the proper subset. Next one, next definition is null set. Null set or empty set. The set is said to be an empty set or null set. It contains no elements, and it is denoted by the symbol 5. The set, it contains no elements, is simply called as null set or empty set, and is denoted by the symbol 5. Next one, equivalent set. Two sets are said to be equivalent if they have same number of elements, although they may not be in the same element. Two sets are said to be equivalent if they have the same number of elements, although they may not be in the same element. Next one, universal set. All elements under investigation in any application of set theory are assumed to be contained in some large fixed set is called a universal set or universe. Universal set is nothing but the whole data, is a whole set. Next slide. What are the operations involved in the sets? What are the operation on sets? First operation is union of two sets. Union. We know the symbol union, studied in the earlier classes. The union of two sets, capital A and B, of a new set which contains the elements that are present in A or B and is denoted by the symbol A union B. We know the symbol A union B. That is, A union B is equal to set of all X such that X belongs to A, comma X belongs to B. For example, A is equal to set of all 1, 2, 3, 4, and B is equal to set of all 3, 4, 5, 6. Find A union B. A union B is nothing but set of all, we have to club both the set A and B. We have to join together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is union of two sets. Next, we know the intersection. Intersection of sets. The intersection of two sets is two sets which contains an elements which are common to both the elements. It is denoted by the symbol A intersection B. For example, intersection is nothing but when the set A contains 1, 2, 3 and the set B contains 3 and 4. What is the intersection of A intersection B is nothing but 3. The set 3 contains in both the set A and the set B. So A intersection B is equal to 3. And next one, complement of set. Next definition is complement of set. The complement of the set is a set of all elements which are present in the universal set and not present in the given set. It is denoted by the A power C, that is A power C, that is A complement or A dash. That is, the complement of the set is the set of all elements which are present in the universal set and not present in the given set. It is denoted as a complement. For example, universal set is given 1, 2, 3, 4. Set A is given 1, 2. And what is A complement? A complement is nothing but 3 and 4. Universal sets are 1, 2, 3, 4. A set A is 1 and 2. What is A complement? Check A and union. 1, 2. What are the sets remaining elements? 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 are the complement. Next one, set difference. The difference of two sets A and B which contains those elements of A which are not present B. The difference of two sets A and B which contains those elements of A which are not present B. For example, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and B is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to find difference, that is A difference B. A difference B is nothing but we have to compare A and B. The set A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and B is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to find A difference B. So in the set A, just cancel the same terms, intersect same common terms in A. So 3, 4 is common in both A and B. So cancel the term 3, 4 in set A alone. That is 1, 2. Therefore A difference B is equal to 1, 2. Similarly, B difference A. B difference A. So B difference A is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4. Difference 3, 4, 5, 6. So compare this A and B. Which term is common? 3, 4 is common. So cancel the term 3, 4 in the set A, the set B. So we get the remaining terms are 5 and 6. B difference A is equal to, B is equal to, what is B? B is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6 and A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. From the two sets, which terms are common? 3, 4 are common. So cancel 3, 4 in the set B. What is the remaining set? Remaining set is 5 and 6. Therefore, B difference A is equal to set 5, 6. Next, power set. Let A be the set of all subset of A is called the power set of A and is denoted by P of A. Let A be the set of all subset of A and is called the power set of A and is denoted by P of A. Let us taking A is equal to set of all A, comma B. We have to write the power. So what is the power? P of A is equal to, what are the possibilities? One is null set. So simply null set. Null set means there is no element in the set. And next one is singular set. Set A. And next possibility is set B. And what are the next possibility? A, comma P. So these are the power set. Next slide is Cartesian product. If A and B are sets, then the set of all ordered pair A, comma B, where A belongs to capital A and B belongs to capital B, is called the Cartesian product, is defined by the symbol A cross B. A cross B is equal to set of all A, comma B, such that A belongs to A, B belongs to B. For example, A is equal to 1, 2 and B is equal to 3, 4, 5. What are the A cross B? You have to cross this set A and B. So what are the A cross B? What are the possibilities? 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Cross A with B. So A is equal to 1, 2, B is equal to 3, 4, 5. First one, we have to find A cross B. So A cross B is equal to 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5 and then 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. So these are the elements A cross B. Similarly, find B cross A. What are the elements of B? 3, 4, 5. What are the elements of A? 1, 2. You have to find the Cartesian product of B cross A. So what are the possibilities? 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1, 5, 2. So these are the definition for the Cartesian product. Next, let us see some laws of set theory. We already studied in the earlier classes, the lower classes. First one is idempotent law. That is A union is equal to A union A is equal to A and A intersection A is equal to A. It is called idempotent law. Idempotent law. A union A is equal to A. A intersection A is equal to A. And second one, associative law. You know that A union B union C is equal to A union of B union C. And A intersection B intersection C is equal to A intersection of B intersection C. And next one, commutative law. We know that A union B is equal to B union A and A intersection B is equal to B intersection A. And next one, distributive law. A union of B intersection C is equal to A union B intersection A union C. A union of B intersection C is equal to A union B intersection A union C. The next one, second law, A intersection of B union C is equal to A intersection B union A intersection C. So these two are the distributive law. Next slide, identity law. A union phi is equal to A intersection U. U is nothing but universal set. A intersection universal set is equal to A. This is identity law. Next one, dominant law. A union universal set is equal to U. A intersection phi is equal to phi. That is dominant law. Involution law. Involution law. A dash the whole dash is equal to A. You have to take the complement of complement is equal to A. Right? A complement, the whole complement is equal to A. That is. Next one, complement law. A union A dash is equal to union. A union A dash is equal to nothing but universal set. That is not union, universal set U. A intersection A dash is equal to phi. And next one, De Morgan's law. We know the De Morgan's law. A intersection B, the whole dash is equal to A dash intersection B dash. And second one, A intersection B, the whole dash is equal to A dash union B dash. A union B, the whole dash is equal to A dash intersection B dash. And A intersection B, the whole dash is equal to A dash union B dash. Next one. Next definition is a very, very important one. Principle of inclusion and exclusion. Principle of inclusion and exclusion. Let A and B are finite subset of finite universal set U. Then modulus of A union B, that is not a modulus, that is called as cardinality. Cardinality of A union B is equal to cardinality A plus cardinality B minus cardinality of A intersection B. So this is where the cardinality of A refer cardinality of set A. So this is, you have to read it as cardinality. And cardinality B refers cardinality of set B. Therefore, modulus of A union B refer cardinality of A union B and modulus of A intersection B refers cardinality of A intersection B. So this is nothing but for only two elements. We can extend this principle for three elements also. For example, where A, B and C are the three elements, we extend this formula. What's the formula? Modulus of A union B union C is equal to modulus of A plus modulus of B plus modulus of C minus modulus of A intersection B minus modulus of B intersection C minus modulus of A intersection C plus modulus of A intersection B intersection C. So this is nothing but the principle of inclusion and exclusion for the three variables. The formula one is for the two finite set and this formula is for the three finite set. So this is the principle of inclusion and exclusion. Right. Let us see one problem. Among a group of 300 college students, 40 study max, 40 students study max 70 students study computer and 50 study physics. If 20 studies both maths and computer science, 15 study both physics and computer science, 30 studies both maths and physics, and 10 studies maths, physics, and chemistry. You have to find the students who not studying maths, physics, and computer science. We know this types of problem. We have to in school days we use the Venn diagram to solve this problem. Now we have to using the formula method to solve this problem. Right. So what is given? Among 300 college students, the data are given. How many students study? Totally how many, that is, totally how many students? That is cardinality of S is equal to 300. That is number of students. Number of students studying maths. How much? 40 students studying maths. Number of students studying computer science. 70. That is cardinality of C. 70. Number of students studying physics. How many students studying physics alone? 50. And how many students studying maths and computer science? That is intersection is 20. How many students studies physics and computer science? 15 students. How many students studying maths and physics? 30. And how many students studying all the three subjects, maths, physics, and computer science? 10. So first we have to find a union by using the principle of inclusion and exclusion formula. We have to using the problem. That is cardinality of M union. M is nothing but mathematics, P is physics, C is the computer science. Modulus of P union, M union, P union C is equal to modulus of P plus modulus of C plus modulus of C minus modulus of M intersection P minus modulus of P intersection C minus modulus of M intersection C plus modulus of M intersection P intersection C. Substitute all the values, we get the answer 105. So the number of students who are the, but the question is you have to find how many students are not studying all the three subjects. You have to not study. So the number of students studying all the subject is 105, but you have to find the complement. So complement means we have to subtract the number 105 from the number of students. How many number of students in the college? 300 students. So the number of students who are not studying in maths, physics, and computer science is modulus of S minus modulus of M union P union C. So modulus of S, that is number of students in the college 300 minus 105. 105 is nothing but number of students studying all the three subjects is 105. So subtracting this we get 195. Therefore the number of students who are not studying maths, physics, and computer science is 195. Right. Right, students? Students, if you have any doubts, feel free to call me. I will clear your doubts. Students, please go through all the theory part. Study well. All the theory part is very, very important for the 2 marks and 5 marks. So just go through all the theory. Write all the theory part in your classwork note. If you have any doubt, students, you can call me and clear your doubts. Thank you, students. Study well. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you.